Excuse all the boxes in the background. I've just done a delivery to this place here. Now, I would like to do this video outdoors, but it's a horrible rainy day today. It's just chucking it down with rain. So we're going to have to continue this inside my van reluctantly. I do apologise, but there we go. I want to strike while the iron's hot and get this off my chest. So I see you literally in a second. Okay, now where were we? Now we are outside. It's pissing out with rain outside. It's a friggin' rainstorm today in London. Well, in the UK, not London. It's raining all over the UK apparently today. It's a friggin' monsoon. We're having a monsoon. Anyway, so as per usual, I'm always inspired by a video that I've watched on YouTube, and it's no different today. I've been watching this guy here. He's a YouTuber. Let me angle it so there's not too much glare. Okay, yeah, you see his picture here. Yes, that's a bit better. His name is Angel. His YouTube name is Angel IKYG, and he's made his video. Now, forgive me for this. I watched his video, admittedly, I think about 2 days ago, and right now is the first opportunity I've had to sort of just give my feedback on his video. So I won't have the title exactly the way as it's written. I can't be asked to search for it in my history. Anyway, so the title, the summary of the title goes as such: are black women more difficult to deal with? Or it might be, are women of other races easier to deal with than black women? Doesn't matter which the title it was, it adds up to the same equation. So, now, my feedback, the problem with a question like that, not that he was wrong to pose that question, is that question by itself has many layers on top of it. It's not a straight yes or no answer. And I explain what I mean by that. One, it depends on what type of black woman you're dealing with. Are black women easier? Are black women more difficult to deal with? What type of black women are we talking about? Black women are not all the same. You know, you got middle class, posh ones, ghetto type. They come in different flavors. So what type of black women are you talking about? All black women altogether. But like I said, it depends on what type of black woman you're talking about. Two, which is very important, your location. What part of the world are you in? That makes a big difference, because but tell you something, for those of you who hasn't done much traveling, there's a bloody damn big difference between the US of A and the UK. There really is. You know, I don't want to, that's just a video in itself, but I mean, for example, a black neighborhood in the United States of America compared to a black neighborhood in London are very, very different. Like when I went to Crown Heights in New York, Brooklyn, New York, I might as well have been in the Caribbean. A black neighborhood in London, be it Peckham, be it Tottenham, yeah, there's more black people than in Hertfordshire or Essex or Kent, but there's lots of everybody else there as well. Whereas when I was in Crown Heights in New York, or Prospect Park in Prospect Park in New York, it was like 98% black, you know? So your location makes a very big difference to your feedback to that question. Three, what was three? Three. Oh yeah, of course. And what is your personal experience with black women in general? So if I were to do a survey, and four, which is connected to number three, your age group. What age group are you in? If you're a young man today with online dating, technology, a smartphone and stuff, and the demographics of people that goes clubbing is very different from when I was a youngster in the late 70s, throughout the 80s and the early 90s. It's a completely different world. So you take two guys from the same city, different time periods, you could easily have different feedbacks. So just as 4 points gives you a variations of answers if you was to survey like 500,000 black men worldwide, right? But the main motivation behind me making this video was his explanation of why some black women are the way they are, in terms of with the brick wall around them, the cold, unwelcoming demeanor. I'm using my own words, cold, unwelcoming vibes to give off. That's the stereotypical angry black woman thing going on. Now, he likened it to a man in prison, said if you lock up a man in prison for a good while, let him out, he's going to have his defenses up. He's not going to be very outgoing. He's going to be very suspicious. And I sympathize and I have empathy with anybody's plight, especially black women, in terms of like the short stick many of them has received, in terms of I see, like if you was to go to beauty magazines, especially dark-skinned women, in terms of their lack of representation. It's getting a bit better now, but you know, I know about the plantation thing, the light skin, dark skin, and the short stick many of them had with relationships, in terms of the men not supporting the kids and yes, I know there's a lot of them who have themselves to blame because they picked the wrong sort of guys, but we're not talking about that today. We're just talking about, in general, the short stick a lot of black women have in relationships with guys who don't support the kids, guys who may abuse them, and the way the world, especially the media, has treated black women. So we're talking about that today, right? So I have empathy and I sympathize with their plight. However, the question, are black women more difficult to deal with, obviously stems from a reaction. So let's use myself as an example. So it says, hey, Ron, what has been your dating history? What is your dating habits, born and raised in the UK, especially London? My answer would be, well, most of the women I have dated are women from outside my race. I haven't exclusively dated women outside of my race. I have dated black women in my past, but most of the time it's women from outside my race. And let's say you ask me a question, well, why is that? Why have you dated more women outside your race than from your race? I said, well, in my experiences since I was a teenager in high school, I've always received a warmer welcome from women outside of my race. You know, the welcome I've had from especially white women, I've never really got that from black women. Like, you know, I could be on the dance floor. I mean, game throughout the years, especially when I was a youngster, I could be on the dance floor, and anytime a woman would come next to me and sort of dance with me, it's normally a white woman or not a black woman. Whenever I get eyed up or smiled at, 9 times out of 10, it's not a black woman. Whenever I've had something nice said about me, most of the time, it's not a black woman. I'm not saying black women don't treat me nice. The few that has, you know, I noticed them, and the few, you know, that I've approached, I've dated them. But in general, we put the few to one side. Most of them I might as well be invisible, you know, or the vibes I get from them, especially working as an entertainer, I get a much better response from a white female audience than I do from a black female audience. So that's my explanation. Now, after that long explanation I've given you now, let's say your feedback was to say, but Ron, the reason why you get that reaction from black women is because they've had this happen to them, they've had that happen to them, had this happen to them. And my answer would be, yes, I appreciate what you're telling me, and I have sympathy, but that doesn't fill me with any desire to go to approach a woman who's giving off a bad vibe. Regardless of the woman's colour, if a woman's walking down the road with a resting bitch face, that doesn't fill me with any inspiration to go and talk to her. Why would it? Why should I? When I have women who are smiling at me and making conversation with me and giving me a warmer vibe, why should I go and talk to an angry looking woman, regardless of her colour? But we're talking about black women in this situation. Why should I approach an angry looking woman when I could just chill out and then a friendly woman would come and talk to me? Why would I push a rock up a hill when I could just take a stroll in the park? So my point is, I appreciate what he says, but that still doesn't do anything that doesn't do them and doesn't do the women any favors in getting a date. If that's what we're talking about. If we're talking about, oh, there's a lot of black men dating outside their race, and you say, well, the women has this happened to them and had that happen to them and that happened to them. Okay, but that's still a separate argument to why should a guy approach him. You see what I'm saying? You know? And secondly as well, in terms of the experience I've had with guys, bad guys, well, I assume that a lot of guys watching this now are guys like myself. I have never abused a woman. I've never subjected her to domestic violence. The worst thing I could have on my dating record is 2 sins I could think of. 1, I've finished a relationship via text message. And it wasn't even a long relationship we're just talking something casual. 2, I've ghosted a few women. Ghosted as in, you know, even though, despite the fact I told them, look, me and them are not going anywhere, you know, we're not going to be an item, I'll never marry them and so forth. I've made it clear where they stand. I've got that impression that they still hope that something's going to come out of it and I'm going to change, and I know I'm not going to change. So I thought, you know what, this woman's not listening to me, you know, I'm just not going to contact anymore. Those are the 2 worst things I've ever done to a woman. But in terms of a father, without sounding big-headed, I'm a good father. I've always supported and always will support my children financially and every other way of supporting them. So when you talk about bad guys, you're not talking to me. You're not talking about me. So as far as I'm concerned, yes, I have sympathy that you've met a bad guy, but I'm not prepared to pay for the sins of what he done. Yeah, he fucked you up. But, you know, okay, yes, you don't know me. Yes, I expect you to be suspicious and have your guard up. But don't take it out on me. You see what I'm saying? So my feedback to his video is, yes, your explanation of why some black women are the way they are is a valid point, but that still has nothing to do with the inspiration of a man approaching a woman. It's very, very simple. Us men are just very simple. We like to approach someone who's pleasant and who's going to be pleasant to approach and pleasant to be with. You know, this business about challenge, and okay, maybe there might be a few guys like that, but generally speaking, you know, we say hello to you. If you're interested, smile and say hello back, or at least smile, at least, right? If we say hello to you and you respond with a rest and bitch face, well then don't be surprised if you don't see or hear from us ever again. It's really that simple. So yes, you've been a victim of many bad things, and I'm sorry to hear that, but that's not going to inspire a guy to want to come and talk to you if you're giving off the baggage and the anger from that. And it's not his fault, you know. So that's my feedback on his video. You know, as valid as his points are, they come to a brick wall when it comes to a man wanting to pursue a woman. Okay, right, so there we are. Give me your thoughts on his video. If you could look, I mean, his name is Angel IKM. I'm sure if you go through his channel, you'll see his video and hear his points. He's done a live chat. And yeah, tell me what you think of his video, and I don't care what you think about this video. I'm not worried about what you think about this video. I'm more feedback on his points. Okay. Right. Thank you very much. Okay, and I'll see you in the next video. Excuse my hand switching off. Here we go.